everyone, it's Marie from Sunshine Faith Real Estate Investments. I am so happy to be back to talk to y'all today. I got so much to tell you about what's been going on with Sunshine Faith Real Estate. So if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. If you want notifications, go ahead and hit the bell and you'll be notified anytime that I upload new videos. So here we go. Okay, y'all, so contractor number 2. He was a nice older man, nice older gentleman, and he was ready to talk to me. I had called him, and I don't even know what to say about this. I'm just a nice older gentleman, and he gets to the building, and he's just looking around, and I'm trying to understand why is he looking like that. So as we I don't remember. Yeah, the first floor was locked at that time, and we get to the second story of the building, and you know, part of the building is where you can kind of walk through and you can see light and everything from it because they haven't boarded up that part. But y'all, we're walking through, and he's like jotting stuff down. It's his little notepad and everything, and so I'm thinking, okay. And so then we go to the back of the building, and it's dark, and you have to have flashlights and everything. And y'all, do you remember I told you part of it was riding? Well, I tell the gentleman, don't walk on that side because it's a little weak. It has some water damage. Y'all, as soon as I said it one more time, sir, don't walk on that side, woo! His foot goes through the floor. It scared me half to death because I'm thinking, oh my goodness, we're gonna die and neither one of us is gonna live to tell the story. But I help him up, and we're just fine, and we continue to go through the building and everything. And so we make it to the third floor. Now the third floor, y'all, just to get there is tricky. The third floor has steps. But then there's this board in the very, very center of the steps that you have to go up in order to even get to the third floor. So it's like an obstacle course. And so we get to the third floor, and he says, oh, this is like a party hall. Well, remember I told you the roof is kind of caved in? I'm like, please don't go on that side, sir. You just kind of almost fell through the floor on the second floor and everything. So I'm like, Lord, help us all. And it was only 2 of us. So we get through, and he's looking through the third floor, and the third floor already has an apartment of some sort. Excuse me, y'all. Has an apartment, and it's really neat, and then it has this open floor plan on the other side of the building, and it's just gorgeous, y'all. And that's my favorite part of the building, and so I didn't want to change those into apartments. Now with that Homestyle Renovation, it's kind of like the 203K. You can only have 4 different units in there, so I was going to keep that open space open. I liked it like that. I could put my business up there. And so that's what I intended to do. And while we were touring it, the gentleman just says to me, no, ma'am, I don't think I can help you. Huh? Okay. So, you know, after me calling 50 different contractors, and he just looks at me, he was like, I don't think I can help you. Yeah, this, ma'am, you just, and he just says, I don't think so. We walk out the building, and y'all, I know. And he said some things that make me question some of his different motives for saying no. But he kind of tells me that, you know, there's some other buildings that you can look at, and then gives me a name of a realtor in the area where I can get some information about some different buildings. So I wasn't too happy with him, even though he said no. The no had absolutely nothing to do with it. It was the thing after. And sometimes you realize what the thing after actually means, but I'm okay with that no. But the next guy, who was awesome, the next contractor that came, he had so much energy. He loved history just like I do. And it was great. So we get through actually in this one, we go to the first floor and on one side of the building. And y'all, a church had been in that building on the first floor. It was one of the tenants, because what I wanted to do was keep the first floor as storefronts and have them rented out. And then on the second floor, I wanted to have 4 units and rent out 3 of them and live in one of them. And either on the third floor, have one big unit, and that open space for my business. So the whole building was going to pay for itself. And so that's my plan. But back to the third contractor. We're on the first floor where the church had been, and we go all the way to the back of the building, y'all. You will not believe that that building is sitting on a tunnel system. I don't know what the tunnels are for. The gentleman said it's probably during war times and them moving artillery, but I kind of believe it was also probably for moving, slaves also. So I truly believe that's what it was for. Maybe during war times moving, weapon stuff and everything, but also for moving slaves because of where it was built and the time period, because it's a building that was built in the maybe early 1800s. So that's what we found. You could not go down to the tunnels because I'm just that bold. I'll do it and don't care because I want to know what's down there. But couldn't go down. But apparently the city sits on tunnels. Well, it's great to know now. And so then he guides me, and we kind of look at some of the different architectural structures, because he's amazed by this building just like I am. And he's like, oh, we could redo the wood and restore the wood and everything. So we go to the second floor, and he's even more amazed by the second floor, just like I am. And I tell him about the weak, the weak parts of the building, and he's like, oh, okay. And so then we make it to the third floor, and he's even more amazed, just like I am. And he's like, well, but this roof needs some work. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I kind of figured that when I saw it looked like it had a bubble in it, but the bubble was going the other way. So is it concave or convex? Whatever it is. I can't even think about it right now. But the roof needs some work. And so we get outside the building, because it's Alabama heat, y'all. It was 150 in the building, and it may have been 90 outside. So we get outside and we get to talking, and he says, well, yeah, I love the building, would love to do the project with you and everything, but it's probably going to cost somewhere between $750,000 to $1 million. OMG. Oh my gosh. What have I gotten myself into? So I could have dealt with the $500,000 because I figured it out with all of the different income that would be coming in. It would be fine. And I also talked to the loan person about it. It would be fine. But the numbers kept going up and up and up and up and up. So I'm like freaking out. After I talked to this third gentleman, I talked to my loan officer, loan man, or whatever you want to call it, and he's like, well, we need to get an appraisal. And I was like, well, maybe just hold on, maybe I need to get another opinion. Y'all, probably the worst mistake I could have made, because that's when I began to have the real problems. The building wasn't the big problem, the real problems came. So if you want to hear about the real problems, go ahead, hit that like button again and hit the bell so you can receive notifications, and subscribe to my channel, and just wait, because here comes part 3.